Welcome back, everybody, to the Rockman Power Hour. My name is Jason Rockman, and this is a podcast where we talk to all kinds of people about all kinds of interesting things in the world of pop culture. This week, we have got two guests that will be joining us. They're going to be talking about their brand new album. The band is called Motor Sister. Now, if you're not familiar with this band, you might be familiar with a couple of their members, one being Scott Ian from the band Anthrax. He is in this band with his wife, powerhouse singer Pearl Aday, and they got a brand new album coming out on May 6th called Get Off. It's going to be put out on Metal Blade Records, and I'm really, really excited to have them joining us this week on the Rockman Power Hour. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's bring in our co-host of the show and the guy who makes everything look as good as he can with what he's working with, Ryan Stick. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Today of this broadcast is my birthday.
It's your birthday today. It's true.
Yeah, so I'm going to use this to get more subscribers. You know, the power of guilt. I'm going to be like, hey, family. But you know what's amazing, though, is that recently with episodes like Alex Lifeson, we've reached a new audience, and it's you know, very grateful for that. Very cool. So I decided to change it up. Instead of Heartbeat Hot Sauce, the sauce in my hand, I'm representing my gear.
You got the heartbeat right behind you, man. It's beautiful. I love it.
I do. It's making my heart beat.
I am slowly running out of Heartbeat Hot Sauce. I found the one clean bottle that was left in my house because I haven't cracked this one open yet. This is the Poirier's Louisiana style hot sauce. This is the collaboration with Dustin Poirier, the legendary UFC fighter who will be, what I'm hearing, fighting very, very soon. And I think we're going to be getting him on the podcast soon as well, Ryan. So,
that's cool.
I know, I'm excited about that. So check out Heartbeat Hot Sauce. They are the proud title sponsors of our podcast, and we love having them on board. Check them out at heartbeathotsauce.com. You can get beautiful hot sauce like this that will titillate your taste buds. And I'm telling you, man, the only downside to this stuff, Ryan, and I'll be totally transparent, is the fact that it goes way too quick in our house because we love it that much. So check out Heartbeat Hot Sauce. We love them. You will love them too if you try them out. And if you go to their website right now, you can grab this one, the Louisiana style Poirier's Louisiana style hot sauce, which is the collaboration between Dustin and Heartbeat, a great Canadian company out of Thunder Bay. And we're also looking fresh.
We are. Actually, well, I'm rocking my Studio House gear, but funny enough, when we record Alex Lifeson's episode, I was expecting a package with a new Hellraiser shirt.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was the only episode of Rockman Power Hour that I haven't worn any of their gear in. And sure enough, the second we finished recording, I went outside to walk my dog and stepped on the package. Like it. So I have a theory that the same thing's going to happen today, Jason. So using the power of time, space, and editing, if I do get my package before this episode comes, I'm going to insert it in right. And if it doesn't happen, we're just going to pretend this never happened. So, okay.
So, but I like the Death Brew shirt. I'm rocking the Videodrome. And you know, if you don't know the folks at Studio House Designs, just great people out of Philadelphia that make awesome shirts. And they usually have a drop a couple of times a month. Check them out at studiohousedesigns.com. Okay, Ryan, this is exciting because I know you and I are both Anthrax fans. We've had Frank Bello on the show before, which was an absolute pleasure. Frank's episode is one of my favorite episodes. It really, really was something special. There was just this great connection there. His stories, his book is great. So to have another member of Anthrax on this podcast is really, really exciting. And I love the fact
we're collecting them like Pokemon.
2 more to go. But you know, I'm really excited to have Scott with us, and it's fun to have him on talking about another project, because when you think about it, everybody in the world knows Scott for Anthrax, but not everybody knows his side projects, and he's had a couple over the years, but this one really, really stands out. The band's called Motor Sister. The new album is coming out on May 6th, and it's a really good record. If you're into rock and roll, Ryan, if you're into 70s, you know, good straight rock and roll, a little blues influence, a little tinge of Kiss, it's going to really, really make you happy.
Excellent. And you know, not a lot of people know this. Well, a lot of people know this, but not everybody know this, is that Pearl is the daughter of Meatloaf.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. Like years and years ago, I saw this really cool documentary about Meatloaf, and Pearl was like, just a teenager in it. So it was really cool to see all these years later. And I knew she could sing, but I didn't know she could sing this good.
Yeah, she's
And
a
she's had a
phenomenal
long
singer.
career too.
Mhm.
It's really interesting, and to see their husband and wife dynamic, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's I hadn't really followed Pearl yet. I have since we've chatted, and just the vibe between the two of them is just really, it's nice. It's authentic, and they've got a really cute kid who plays the drums and loves to play all instruments. And if you follow Scott Ian on Instagram, you can see some of these jams that he does with his son playing drums. It's just a lot of fun. It seems like they have a lot of fun in that house. And this band, Motor Sister, was born out of being a tribute band to a band called Mother Superior. And this is the crazy thing about this whole project is that, Mother Superior aren't a household name. The only reason I knew Mother Superior was because Henry Rollins hired them to be his backing band on a couple of records. And so I got to see them tour with, as a unit, as Henry Rollins and Mother Superior, and it was really, really good. So the fact that Scott Ian and his wife, Pearl, are in a tribute band to Mother Superior, and they're called Motor Sister, and they're actually putting out original music and not just doing old Mother Superior covers, it's really cool. The first single is Can't Get High Enough. The video is great. The song's great. And again, it just harkens back to fun 70s music. And it doesn't surprise me that Kiss fandom comes through in the music. It's just fun. It's a breath of fresh air in this market where rock and roll's taken a hit over the last few years, and it's not getting the respect it needs. So I think this is the kind of album that's gonna put the respect back on rock and roll's name that it deserves.
Dude, I am excited as hell.
Yeah.
Shall we play it?
Yes. And just before, stick around for after the interview, because we've got a very, very important announcement that you're going to really, really want to hear, that we almost have the scoop on. I think people are going to love this. So
I love scoops.
Yeah, me too. Ice cream and information. So check it out. Our interview with Scott Ian and Pearl Aday of the band Motor Sister. All right, really, really happy to have with us today on the Rockman Power Hour. Well, a guy that I've known for a long time due to his body of work, but I had no idea that you were in a band with such a talented lady named Pearl. Scott Ian and Pearl Aday are with us today. Pearl, did I butcher your name or did I do it right?
My name is Aday, Aday, Aday.
Okay, so there's no L in there. It's Aday.
Yeah.
I knew I would screw it up.
First.
I had an L in there. I got to get glasses again. I stopped wearing mine. I got a chance to sit with the record today. I was on the treadmill, and I love listening to music on a treadmill when I'm walking or if I'm power walking or anything, just because it keeps me in that moment and it really lets me feel it. And what I took from the album right away was just good rock and roll, which I find nowadays, dare I say, it's a little lacking. And it was just a good rock record. I'm going through it. I'm listening to it. I'm hearing like 70s Kiss, early Kiss. It just had balls. And was that what you guys were going for with this? Did you just want to just put out a good rock record?
I think that's just what comes out.
Yeah, it's just what Jim writes for the context of Motor Sister, because Motor Sister's, it's kind of an extension of what he was doing before with Mother Superior.
Right.
But with a different band and a band full of friends and and fans. And it's just what Motor Sister is. It's an outlet for this style of music that we all come from, I mean, I grew up in the 70s. That's the music that formed me. Same with Jim, same with Johnny, same with Joey, same with Pearl. This is the music that formed all of us. So it's only just natural that we would want to have a way to let that go.
Now, this is the Mother Superior that Rollins was in at one point, right? That was his backing band. I saw that band play back in the 90s. And I mean, Rollins' band was one thing, but when Rollins toured with Mother Superior, it was a powerhouse of a band.
Yeah, he hired them for those couple of album and touring cycles.
Yeah.
And because he was also just a huge fan of theirs. I used to see Henry at the shows
Yeah.
all the time in Hollywood. yeah. So, and then he decided to take it a step further and say, "Hey, you guys want to be my band?" And then we kind of, Pearl and I jumped on that Rollins bandwagon. Where in the early 2000s, Pearl walked up to Mother Superior at her birthday party. Right? You could tell the story.
Yeah. Well, you invited them
I
as a
invited them to
surprise.
Pearl's party because we were both just crazy fans of theirs, and so the three of them are just kind of standing there with beers and.
And I had a few myself and got up some courage and walked over to them and said, "Hey guys, I'm Pearl." And we introduced ourselves to each other. And then I said, "Well, what would you guys think about it, working with a chick singer?" And as soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh God, what did I just say?"
Yeah.
And they kind of stopped and looked at each other and they went, "Okay."
And like I was already friendly with Jim before that, but then Pearl and Jim started working together and writing songs together, and we're going on 20 years of that now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've just been great friends and colleagues for a long, long time, and it's still very much the same thing. When Jim will send a text or call and say, "Hey guys, I got some cool ideas. I think it'll work for Motor
Your
Sister."
Jim voice.
Well, I try and put this smooth tone on because Jim's voice is so smooth. And I got some ideas, some riffs. I think it'll be really cool for Motor Sister. When can we jam? And it's so exciting to get that phone call.
Well, and what I love about this is that this is born of people who want to pay tribute to a band. So it starts off as a cover band of a band that, let's face it, it's not, you guys you're not a Stones tribute band, you're not a Who tribute band. You're a tribute band to a band that is pretty much, really popular with music. It's like a muso band almost.
Yeah,
So,
a very obscure three-piece hard rock band, that played around Los Angeles for a few years and made a bunch of records that, not many people know about.
But I think it just shows that this project is rooted in passion. Like there's no doubt about it. This is all about passion, and it's about, and the fact that this evolves into, all right, let's write some original music together is pretty cool. And I imagine as fans of the band, when you think back, Pearl, to that moment when you went up to the guys and say, "Hey, do you want a chick singer?" To the fact, to the point you fast forward and you're writing a record with them, it's got to be satisfying as a fan too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been writing with Jim Wilson for 20 plus years now. But yeah, making that first Motor Sister record and bringing that music back to life was really totally what, like you said, it was completely passion, total passion, because that music is so good and it's too good to not be played. So that was the whole idea behind it. And that's really how Motor Sister, we were just, birthed from a party. It was one night when we just wanted to bring that music back to life. And then it just resonates so hard with people that it needed to become a band again. But making original music with this group is like, it's nothing but a gift.
Yeah.
The album starts off with "Can't Get High Enough," and it's just like right out of the gates, just kicks you in the face. The video is fun too, seeing you guys playing live at certain, haunts on the Strip and stuff. Again, this is like a breath of fresh air for now, because there's not a lot of rock bands that are doing this.
I don't know anyone who is. I do my best to keep my feet in, and check out stuff. I as much as I am an old guy who still listens to everything he grew up on,
Sure.
And will fight you if you say anyone is, better than Iron Maiden. But at the same time, I do try and, keep my ear to the ground and hear stuff that comes out. And I have a lot of friends who will, "Hey, did you hear this? Or did you hear this?" And I'll check everything out.
Yeah.
And, I'm just like anyone else. Either I like it or I don't. But when it comes to, that's mostly metal.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of rock music.
There is
There's some.
Rock, there's some, but there's not a lot.
You got to give it up for Rival
Of
Sons.
course, I love Rival Sons.
Yeah.
And Royal Blood is pretty great.
Yeah, but that's not even like rock like this or like Rival Sons. I'm talking about more like rock music. Yeah, there's just not a lot of it out there. I know, I know as a genre, there's 100 branches on the tree of what considered rock. I mean, yeah, Jack White, of course, has been flying the flag for years and years, and I love almost everything he does. But what we're doing is a much more specific kind of thing, that really existed in the 70s.
Yep.
And and you mentioned Kiss, and of course I would add Thin Lizzy, and I would add Aerosmith, and I would add stuff like Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. I would add, I mean, there's just so much 70s stuff that Humble Pie.
Humble Pie was just
There's so much 70s rock that still to this day would be considered deep tracks or obscure.
Yep.
But the records that were so influential on the stuff that, of course, everybody knows, and the bands that went on to have huge careers. And
Deep Purple.
Yeah, Deep Purple even, in North America never meant anything like they meant in Europe, we come much more specifically from, I think, more obscure 70s rock, much more deep cuts, and it's something that nobody's really doing now. Of course, AC/DC, there's definitely AC/DC in there too. But anything we could do to fly that flag of hard rock, we're going to do it.
It's funny you say, you mentioned Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush. And I'm from Montreal, and Frank lives here. He's like a local legend. Every time somebody comes through here and they get a chance to chat with him or see him play, it's a treat. But again, another artist just falls under the radar.
Sure.
But then a guy like Zakk Wylde will bring him up and say, hey, this guy's like the reason why I started playing guitar. But it's nice to hear a band like you guys trying to bring that into the next generation by putting out a record. And it's ballsy, because nowadays, I mean, as you know, and again, this is rooted in passion. So I don't think either of you are really concerned about, playing the game. You just want to put this out, I would imagine.
100%. Yeah.
But it's ballsy. It's ballsy to do that, because nowadays I wish more bands would do that. I wish more bands would take some chances.
And just doing our best to get the message out and get people to, you'd think it would be an easy thing to just get people to listen to a record, but, especially with the fact that, people have music.
Yeah,
in
I know.
Pocket. It's not like it's difficult. You don't got to go home. Everyone loves vinyl now, but you don't need to go home and you could literally just listen to the record at any time. And seemingly it's more difficult to get people to stop and listen to things sometimes. Maybe they're just, people's lives are so busy now, they just have their go-tos, and it's hard to get people to, open their mind to something different. But, we just do our best to make that happen.
The minute I heard you sing, Pearl, you reminded me of a really popular Canadian singer from the early 80s named Sass Jordan. I don't know if you've ever heard her before.
You're going to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I right away I'm listening. I'm like, man, this sounds like, and Sass is amazing. I mean, she's just someone that, if you grew up where I'm from, she was just a staple on the rock radio station. And you don't hear many female singers like that anymore. That just give it like that are rooted in blues.
Wow, thank you.
Obviously you're a couple, as people know, and you, Scott, you've been posting these videos of you jamming with your son on Instagram that are just amazing. And I've got a 17-year-old kid who's into piano and he can sing and he's into music, but so shy. What's it like to jam with your kid? That's got to be the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, it's great. It's just so fun picking songs and listening to songs and learning songs with him. And he's also a great guitar and bass player as well. So I wish I was a better drummer so we could trade sometimes and he could play guitar on stuff and I would drum, but that would be tragic. But it's amazing. It's so great. It's so, I mean, the fulfillment I get from watching him play any of the instruments and the joy that it brings him. He said, I think it was last night, he was sitting learning a Foo Fighters song, and then he finished learning it. I think it was No Way Back maybe, and on guitar, and he said guitar is just so much fun. Remember, we were sitting in there. He's like, it's so much. No, he said, why is guitar so much fun? And I said, the fact that you even asked that question is the best thing ever. Because
that's great.
I think it feels so good to hear those riffs coming out of your own hands, right? And he's like, yeah, it's so fun. So yeah, I mean, we see it. We watch him when he's playing. We see how it affects him, and it's just the best thing ever.
It
He's
really,
so
really is.
he's obsessed, and I know the state he's in very well. Although he's way ahead of me. He's 10.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't till I was probably like 13 or 14 and that's when I first really started playing. I started when I was 9, but I didn't really start till probably around 13 or 14. And so he's light years ahead of me at this point. You can imagine how good he's going to get.
Oh yeah. I mean, like when they start that young,
Yeah.
I sang in a band for years and we did some stuff, but I look at my son and like, he's everything that I'm not. He can play piano. He can read music. He's tall. He's got hair. He's good looking. I'm like, man, like you're just like a much better version of me. But it's great to see your kids like that. It's a beautiful thing to see that happen.
So great.
We're talking about Foo Fighters, and obviously, a really good friend of mine was their drum tech Yeti for years and years. Losing Taylor was rough. I got to interview the band at 606 5 years ago. And so when I saw you guys recorded at 606, it didn't surprise me because the record sounds organic. It doesn't sound like a lot of records that are made today. A lot of records they just sound a little processed. And this sounds like people were all in a room doing the record. Can you tell me a bit about making the album at 606 and what that was like?
Yeah. That's what it was. It was just us in a room making the record. But yeah.
Well, it's not the first time we've recorded there.
Right.
Well, I've recorded there with my solo stuff. You did Mr. Bungle there.
Oh, you did. Okay. So you did the re-release of the EP.
What's that?
You did the Bungle. You did the new Bungle there.
The Raging Wrath.
Yeah. I call it the re-release because it's the re-recording, reimagining. Yeah.
Yes.
So do you guys like the vibe of that place? Because when I was there to interview the band when they were doing the starting the press junket for Concrete and Gold, I loved that. I mean, just the big live room. The only thing that was in the studio was that big Motorhead flag. I mean, it just had such a great vibe. So I can imagine recording there. I mean, that's how records should be made. And, being someone who's recorded in a room, done that before, not a lot of people do that anymore. Is it nice to go back to that familiar way of recording?
Well, I don't think it's a case of going back to it. That's the only way I ever work. I mean, that's how I've been doing it with Anthrax since 1983.
So you guys have never had to be, forced to do it in parts like a lot of people are doing now.
No.
Okay. That's amazing. That's great because, and I think that's probably why a lot of that music feels like that, because
right.
There's nothing makes up for that feeling of people in a room.
Yeah. But 606 is a great room. I love being there. I love being in that studio. I love hanging out there. Anytime I know we're going there, it makes me happy.
It feels like home, which I think speaks a lot to the vibe that Dave and Taylor and everybody and Pat and all of them, they all just immediately make you feel at home, like your old friends, welcome.
Yeah.
Our space is your space, it's just pure generosity and friendship, and it feels really good, and I know that definitely translates into whatever music is recorded in that space because it's so comfortable.
Again, as a journalist, just being there and being, waiting for my turn to chat, I got to walk around and look at stuff, and you see this big hallway and it's all Foo Fighter plaques. And then you turn the other way and you're like, oh my God, there's more Nirvana plaques.
It's like being invited into the clubhouse. You're instantly part of the club.
And, I've known Dave a long time. We met in like 1998. And it's weird because sometimes it's not that I forget that he was in Nirvana, but he's had such a career since Nirvana, and sometimes because I've had that moment in that same hallway, where I'm looking at some multi-platinum Nirvana thing, and I'm like, he was in fucking Nirvana.
I know, you forget about it. Yeah,
it's like another lifetime, like it's an alternate universe, because we've known him for so long, and you couldn't name a nicer dude. You know what I mean? Like Dave's just that guy, and he's genuine. Yeah, you just never. Maybe people would have the expectation that a guy that was in two of the biggest rock bands in the history of music would maybe have a little bit of an attitude or something.
Zero.
But he's just the best dude. And yeah, like Pearl said, it really translates. And then on top of all of that, you're recording through the Neve that was in Sound City.
Yeah.
So on top of the fact that the place feels like a comfortable old t-shirt, it's got the best gear in the world. It's just, it's incredible. And, we're just so lucky that, we get to go in there every once in a while.
Going back to the niceness of Dave, when I was there, I was also talking to him about the Probot record. And because again, I'm from Montreal, I carry that as you can see, I carry that flag very proudly. Voivod from Montreal, and Away had done the cover for that record. And I had asked Dave, do you have any copies of that record on vinyl? The guy walked across the street with me because they had a storage space across the street, climbed up a bunch of boxes and pulled out a copy of the record for me.
Wow.
And I was like, who the fuck is going to do that? That's in two of the biggest bands. It's crazy.
That's so cool.
Going back to the record, like a song like Bulletproof, Coming for You, they're just really just ragers, like they're just like four on the floor, kick you in the face kind of songs. Coming for You, get to see you, showcase your voice on your own, Pearl. When you're doing a vocal performance like that, who are your heroes? Like, who did you grow up? I know, we were talking, Scott, about, Kiss and stuff, but who are your vocal heroes, Pearl?
Oh my God. I mean, Tina Turner, Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from my dad. There are just, I don't know, too many to name. Is there someone I'm forgetting?
Steve Marriott.
Steve Marriott.
Oh, wow. That's a name.
Robin Zander. I don't just throw names out.
Yeah. Tina, big time.
Yeah.
Say Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt is like, forget about it. Yeah, I mean, but mostly I think as a vocalist, it took me a while to figure out what my sound was. We all take from our influences, but it took me a while to figure out where I sit with my force and my style, because I don't sound like Tina. Nobody does. Yeah. Nobody sounds exactly like anybody else, so you've got to find where you sit most comfortably in your own muscles and guts. So hopefully I did that. I think I have so far. It feels good to sing. Coming for You is really fun.
Yeah, the whole record is fun, and again, it's a great rock record. It comes out May 6th. It's called Get Off. Are there tours planned? Are there some live shows in the works? Is this a project that will actually go out and do some live stuff, or will it just be little pop-ups here and there, or can you not say yet?
Well, we hope so. We have one show at the Whiskey on May 15th.
We have a festival too.
Oh, right. Welcome to Rockville in Florida on May 22nd.
We're working on other live dates.
Yeah, we're hoping later this year. We're looking at November, hopefully, where everyone has a free window, because everyone's, Johnny's got cult stuff going on. Joey's playing bass with Merciful Fate all summer.
Oh, wow.
The two of us have stuff. We're just all busy. Jim's also in Daniel Lanois' band when he's not doing stuff.
Is he really?
Jim's been playing with Daniel forever.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, sometimes to get the five of us, we talked about this the other day. We hang out with each other socially, pretty regular. That's easy, because it doesn't have to be all five of us. It's easy to get a couple of us in the room together, but to get all five and then be able to go. And now we need 3 weeks. That's a little bit tougher.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. I think people are really going to like this record, and it's just good again to see somebody that wants to put out a rock record now. Awesome. It's very welcome in this climate, and I think it's what everybody kind of needs. Have a little bit of fun after this last 2 years of utter shit. Yeah, hopefully we can get on Heavy Montreal. Heavy Montreal is supposed to come back next year, and I'm actually the ambassador for the festival, and I fucking really, really hope it comes back. I really do. Me too. I love that show. Oh fuck, man, it's one of the best. It's one of the best. Hey, thanks a lot for taking time out of your schedule, guys. Appreciate it, and I really, 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 really enjoyed the record. And I'm going back to the gym tomorrow, and I'm going to listen to it again. Awesome. It was a good treadmill record.
Right on. Spread the word.
I do have to say, your Funko wall rivals our son's Funko wall at home.
Does it? Okay,
Yeah.
so so I wanted to show you a couple of things, and I didn't want to. I don't want to bog this down, but I'm a big Public Enemy fan.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, and I saw you just got I've had that tattoo for years too.
Oh, yeah.
I saw you got yours.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to Public Enemy, it's like it's holy grail for me. It's just and I talked to I had Frank on the show about a month and a half ago to talk about the book, Sweetest Guy in the World.
Cool.
And both books are great. So
awesome.
Thanks for taking the time, guys. And if your kid ever needs Funko advice, just let me know.
All right.
Right on.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Thanks
Bye.
for taking the time. Bye.
Oh man, I'm really looking forward to hearing this album. You know, it's we've had a great track in Rockman Power Hour so far where it's allowed me to discover music again, because I've been a little jaded about it myself. I've been a bad audience member. But for instance, bands like Gold and Men Without Hats' new album, I think I listened to If the World Should End Today like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to doing the same thing with this record, man. And you're giving it all the highest praise. So I trust your opinion, Jason.
It's fun, and what's great is in the next coming weeks, we're going to be talking to Brian Slagle. If you don't know who Brian is, Brian's the founder of Metal Blade Records, and Metal Blade are responsible for the first Metallica recording that was distributed when they did Hit the Lights. That was put on a metal compilation that Metal Blade put out 40 years ago. So we're going to have Brian Slagle on the show in the next couple of weeks, and he is the one who helped get this record put out. And it's really, really fun to be able to chat with him in a little while, because Metal Blade are the label that are putting out this Motor Sister record. So I think it's going to be a cool one just to kind of circle everything back. But Ryan, you got to address the elephant in the room. Scott Ian is known for Anthrax, and a lot of people have been wondering what's going on with Anthrax. And you saw in the chat, he looked back on the wall and he goes, "Hey, Heavy Montreal," and he saw the poster and stuff. And he said, I want to come back to Heavy. I missed that festival. So we have got a scoop, and I'm really, really excited to be bringing this information, Ryan. We're some of the first people to have this information and to be able to give this information out. Anthrax will be playing with Black Label Society and Hatebreed and Montreal's band Sword. Yes, the Sword, that old school Sword.
Oh, nice, yeah.
All going to be playing together August 24th at the Cogeco Amphitheater in Trois-Rivières, presented by Heavy Montreal, and we're going to be doing some stuff around that. So I first of all, I'm excited because we're going to get to see Anthrax together, and the tickets go on sale this coming Friday at evenco.ca. I think it's kind of funny how we chat with Scott about another project. He's saying, I can't wait to kind of come back to Montreal. And then boom, he's going to be within a couple of hours of the city. Exactly.
Surprised he wasn't winking.
I think he might have known something when we were chatting, but just want to let everybody know that if you're looking to get tickets for an incredible metal show this coming summer, August 24th, Hatebreed are going to be alongside Anthrax, Black Label Society, and Sword at the Cogeco Amphitheater in Trois-Rivières, and you get your tickets at evenco.ca. How excited are you for that?
I'm excited to do anything, pretty much. My standard and my bar of what is exciting is pretty low. So this is almost an overdrive in a sense, because Anthrax put on a damn good show. We all know this. With Heavy Montreal, it's really interesting too, because I saw Anthrax when they didn't have Joey and Frank wasn't even playing, and that was at one of the first Heavy MTLs. But Anthrax knew we had to be part of this. And it's really cool that one of the last Heavy MTLs I saw, it was really cool to see Anthrax back in their former glory, co-headlining and just, in front of thousands of fans screaming their songs. And I'm just like, it just really goes to show, hang in there, because you have these ups and lows, and and Anthrax have always done that because they never quit. They never stopped.
No,
they just kept going. And to see them come full circle like this and get all this praise. I mean, some of the albums they've been putting out are so beloved by their fan base. And who can say that?
Yeah.
I mean, Metallica, I love you. But, sometimes you put out new stuff and sometimes not everybody likes it. It seems in Anthrax, when they put out a new album, the entire fan base gets behind it.
Oh, yeah.
And who can say that?
Yeah, no, Anthrax fans are very, very loyal, and they stick with the band. And it's nice to see the lineup back the way it should be. And yeah, this is going to be a phenomenal show. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to everybody hearing this album from Motor Sister, which will be out on May 6th. So make sure you check that out. You can get it at Metal Blade Records, through Metal Blade Records, anywhere you purchase music. I believe there's pre-orders for vinyl at this point over at the Metal Blade website. So go check it out. And Ryan, listen, dude, there's so much stuff coming up this summer. We've got so much fun stuff that's in the pipeline. I think people are going to be really, really excited about some of the guests that we have coming up, man. We got some crazy stuff. What's that? Are you
I just realized how metal my coffee cup is.
It's a very metal cup. I have a very less metal cup. CBC. It's like there's
CBC skulls. Everyone listening on the podcast is like, "What the hell is going on?" Two grown men are losing their minds.
Absolutely.
In actual time. But dude, yeah, lots of amazing stuff. Even when you're a nerd, there's a lot of amazing things out. I mean, Moon Knight's been out every week to critical acclaim, both from fans and critics, and it's a great time to be alive, man. When it comes to nerdy stuff and when it comes to pop culture, I mean, Doctor Strange is right around the corner. There's a lot of things to look forward to. I'm looking forward to this summer. I'm looking up for the first time in a long time, Jason, and it's hurting my neck.
I just want to also bring some attention to our, if you are engaged in social media, always check our Facebook page over on Facebook, the Rockman Power Hour's Facebook page, because we have been doing quite a few giveaways with a lot of different partners. We've been partnering up with Paramount Home Video and Shin Communications. So we're always trying to give you a little extra added value here by being loyal listeners. And we appreciate all of you coming on board this journey. It's been nothing but an absolute joy for all of us. And I would like to thank everyone involved on the podcast. Of course, my co-host, Ryan Stick, our executive producer, Julia Kedzierski. We want to thank Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Studio House Designs, and of course, everyone who helps us make this thing rock and roll. Please, I encourage you to like, subscribe, share, comment, do all that fun stuff so we can see that you're getting engaged. And of course, if you are on social media, follow us on our Facebook page. And give us any suggestions of who you'd like us to talk to. We're always open to suggestions. And this is carte blanche. We can talk to whoever we want to. So there's no format here. It's free-flowing. As long as it falls into the world of pop culture, we're happy to tackle it. So again, thank you for being on this journey. And we will see you next week on the Rockman Power Hour.